I'm getting ready to leave here in just a couple of days, and I wanted to share with you what it has cost me to winter my first retirement winter here in the South in my RV. A lot of people have had questions about what the cost is. Is it affordable? Is it doable? So many people feel like they can't afford to retire, and the new retirement has people working part-time. But I wanted to share these costs with you. I'm not an expert, but I have experienced my first winter. I have mapped those costs, and I wanted to share with you how affordable it has been for me. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Bonita. I'm from Kansas. I've been wintering in Texas in early retirement. This is my first winter down here. I'm the daughter of Depression era parents, and I live frugally so that I can save money to use for things that I want to do, like afford Christmas for my large family, take vacations, and live a comfortable lifestyle. Now, everybody defines comfortable in a different way. Some people might not think my life is as comfortable as theirs is, or as comfortable as they want to live, but it's comfortable for me. So we all have to make decisions on how we want our futures to look, what we want to save money for. And this has been a very good experience for me in many ways. I've been able to exercise. I've been able to have a lot of personal growth. I've been able to spend some time alone, which I've never done my entire life. And I feel like it's been really good for me. But I want to share with you the costs of doing that down here to show you how affordable it really was. So here is what it cost me to live in the Rio Grande Valley this winter. Affordable housing seems to be one of the hot topics right now, whether you are trying to raise a family or whether or not you are thinking about retirement. So I wanted to show you a little bit around the park to show you how people are affording a second home for the winter. And this is very common across the United States, that a lot of retirees are going to this. A lot of the people in this area are not necessarily low income. This is something they enjoy. This is a community that they enjoy, the activities, the events, the people that are here. They make lifelong friends. And it doesn't mean that living here means that they don't have money saved. Now, I have money saved, but I don't know where anybody else lands in this community. I know it seems like a lot of them have a lot more expendable income than I feel like I do, but that could be just because a lot of them are maybe older and they're not as worried about trying to make it last like another 20 years or so like I am. It's a very affordable way to retire, and a lot of people have side things that they do for extra money. Retiring nowadays usually comes with some extra side things that people do for money, and I think that's going to be a very regular norm that we see going forward. Not only do people like to stay busy, but they like to earn a little bit of extra spending cash. And I see that throughout the park in a lot of the retirees, that they do side jobs or side crafts or whatever for extra money. So I'm going to show you around the park so you can see how people can afford to have two homes. Wonder how other people can afford winter homes. Well, this is how they do it. They rent a place or they buy a place, and they just do it for the winter and just pay a lot rent, or they own their own RV. And as you can see, most people have left. The entire streets are almost empty because everybody's gone home. But doing it this affordable way makes it where people can afford a second home or a winter home. Some people choose to store their RVs down here to save on gas costs, and it's only about $50 to $100 a month to store your RV, so that's one of the ways that they cut the lot rent expense during the summer when they go home. The best advice that I can give you if you're thinking about doing something like this and retiring to a low cost retirement option is to do your research. The things that I looked into before I came down here was like the climate. I knew I wanted it to be around 70 even in like January and February, and I wanted it to be as consistent as possible around that area. I looked at the crime rate. I looked at the cost, of course. I looked at the amenities. I looked at things to do and see in the area that were not expensive. And also you'll want to look, if you're going to a beach area, to look at the beach quality. There are places that you go that the beach is full of silt, or it's full of mossy type of scum stuff on top, or a lot of weeds. So you want to pick a nice, clean area of a beach that is something that you can actually enjoy. So those are some of the things that I looked at. I also looked at what extra costs would be involved in me staying in my camper. Like, what else did they charge for here? And they charged for electric and internet, but the water here is free. And like I said, you do have to mow your own lot. So that's something you want to think about. Now, 55 and over communities, they get a lot of bad reviews on social media and on YouTube. I've watched a lot of videos that talk about how the neighbors are like spying on you and in your business and, you know, complaining all the time. It's just like if you still are working. There's always going to be a group of people that are negative or complain a lot. Just don't hang out with those people. Just don't hang out around them. That's what I do. I learn a lot of stuff at the pool, just listening. And sometimes there'll be a little pocket of people that are just complaining. I just don't navigate towards those people. I go into a different part of the pool and block them out, and try not to get involved with those types of people, because that's not the energy that I want. I have heard more 55 and over jokes and senior citizen jokes since I've been here. These people know how to have a good time. They're not afraid of making fools out of themselves. And one of the ladies at the pool the other day was telling me how they go to this place that plays music, and when they play Wipeout, that the senior citizens will get on the ground on their backs and do this with their feet and stick their hands in the air like a dead bug, or like a bug dying. And she said, it's the craziest thing you ever saw in your life. And I'm like, 55 and over? She said, no, honey, we're talking 75 and over. And I said, I wouldn't be able to get back up. She said, honey, they can't either. They need help. So they know how to have a good time, hang out with the fun crowd, if you don't want all of that negativity, it's going to be wherever you're at. But 50,000 people come to the Rio Grande Valley every year and winter down here. It adds $1.9 billion to the economy. And this area is not elite. There are 55 and over communities all over the United States, from the north all the way to the south, from the east to the west. You have so many choices based on the criteria that you want and that you find during your research to determine where you want to go. And that's one of the things that we decided as well is, did we want to come to the same place every single year? Because honestly, I felt like if we did, you might even get caught up more in those complaining groups that come year to year if you came every year. But if you go somewhere different every single year, you're meeting new people every single year, and you can navigate to the groups that fit you best. And then you can try a different place next year. I like to try and explore new places and see new things. I don't necessarily like to travel to the same place over and over again unless it's just something that I absolutely love. Our top places that we love are Key Largo and San Antonio. Those are two of our favorites that we have gone to and we'll plan to go back again. We've been to San Antonio a couple of times. And we are, if you believe it or not necessarily the youngest people down here. My husband and I are both 58. We both have had our birthdays this year. And there are some people that are a couple years younger than us from Canada. I guess there's a 50-year-old man that is also here. So we're not necessarily the youngest people that are here. But even the people that are older, you don't feel like they're older because they are really a lot of fun. There are people from all walks of life down here. We have truck drivers, we have receptionists, we have people that have had professional positions, all different walks of life. And of course, I told you I learned the most at the pool. I heard them talking today, talking about how the boomers had the advantage of having a lot of pensions in their era, where the Gen X and the generation after them have had more 401ks, which do not pay as well. And that they felt that they were blessed because they saw a lot of the Gen X people and the generation coming up after them having to spend a lot of their retirement money on purchasing a home like down here, a very moderate, simple trailer house type of home, and still have to sell the home that they were living in to do that, to have a retirement plan. Now, I have a very low cost of living in my home in Kansas, which allows me to be able to do both very easily. But I wanted to pass that information on to you because I found that very interesting and I thought that was a very good point. I think the idea of retirement being like owning your own island or having a mansion with a pool, I think those are more the exception, not the rule. A lot of us picture those beach houses or those mountain homes as the way we want to retire and never really think that we ever have a shot at making it happen. So I wanted to share this with you today to give you inspiration that it is possible to make those dreams come true. If you would like to help this channel out, I have links of the ways that I save money in the description box below, as well as my 2 cookbooks from the Depression era. Thanks for listening today, and I hope to see you in the next video.